The 10 pounds of mustard and turnip greens weren't a whole lot by Mom's standard, and Persephone knew Ma would probably just do it herself. But Persephone was making an effort to help out around the house more often. Portia and Persephone pulled up in front of the office, seconds behind the car that had pulled up and parked right in front of the office. Their spot. The two women got out of their cars looking at each other, then at the car that had grabbed the spot. A cute little black kid hopped out from the front passenger seat with a navy blue nylon backpack that was half open, revealing the white karate suit and purple cloth belt that was stuffed, not folded, inside. A man rolled down the window of the car and called the boy over. Portia pressed the remote burglar alarm and her car made a little bird call as Persephone struggled with getting her key in the lock to secure her door. The two women then met up in the middle, Portia at the front of her car and Persephone toward the rear of hers. Both were still standing in the street. Since Sally hadn't arrived yet, and the two were always instructed not to hang around the office door, just to wait in their cars, the two quickly decided to run over to the party store across the street next to the Taekwondo school. As they crossed the street, Persephone was thinking to herself that she could pick up the new issue of Jet magazine. The two women had sprinted to the yellow double line. The traffic going east to west was clear, but on 7 Mile, few walked across the street. You ran to a safe spot. Just then, the little boy came sprinting by Persephone. When she realized he wasn't yielding for the west to east traffic, she let out an earth shaking, "Hey!" But as she screamed, her outburst was smothered by the screeching tires of the Trans Am that ignored the stop sign at the corner to the right of them. The car whizzed past the window. The driver was looking more at Persephone and Portia than at the road and sped up, possibly trying to showboat. It struck the boy, hurling him in the air a few feet just a short distance in front of the two women. The boy came down head first on the rear part of the bumper before crumpling to the street like an abused rag doll. Persephone later wondered just what was it that made her notice the license plate number, but once she saw it, it would be a while before she would forget it. 576. That's Money Row. The letters were CMB. She could never forget those letters. Portia supplied the police with the make and the model of the car. All Persephone could tell them was that it was black, and it looked like to be a newer model than the one LaQuisha's boyfriend owned. A hit and run accident with witnesses that were willing to come forward was a rarity, or so the police officer stated to the two women as he took their statements and tried to decide which one to flirt with the most. He told them confidently that the kid would probably be admitted in critical condition, then downgraded quickly to stable, but would remain in intensive care. The officer thought that the impact with the car's bumper, then the ground, pos- probably spared more damage to the boy's skull. It was a little more information than Persephone wanted. Thank you very much, but he made the women promise to come to the station within 24 hours to make statements. That would be all that was required of them, unless, of course, the big black man who jumped out of his car and gave a good chase to the Trans Am as it sped away. His act had almost made it a double tragic traffic accident because other traffic almost came in contact with the enraged looking man walking down the street as if he wanted to make somebody hit him, wanted to sue the insurance. After talking with the police officer, Portia and Persephone thought they had completed their good deed for the day, for the decade. But when the two were buzzed inside, Persephone could sense something was wrong. The phone girls were busy answering calls, but Mona looked up and mouthed the words, "Roscoe in there," pointing to the back rooms. Portia said out loud, "And?" Sally had buzzed them in, and headed straight toward the back. She came back to the hallway's entrance and said, "Y'all, Roscoe want to see y'all in his office." Persephone noted that she was avoiding eye contact. "Pat, Lucy, come on now. Y'all heard me. Damn it, move." Sally seemed irritated. Before they could even be seated, Roscoe started in on them. As Sally stood looking at on in disgust, her back to the door. If Persephone knew Mona, she was probably in the checking room next door, playing it off like she wanted a pop or something and listening in on every word. "The fuck y'all doing, huh?" Roscoe demanded, looking more at Persephone than at Portia. "Y'all know you could get us busted up in here." Roscoe acted like he wanted to take off his belt or something, and Persephone was about to say something when Portia blurted out, "So what the fuck we supposed to do, huh? That little boy was lying in the street bloody, and we know who did it. Now what the fuck? That little boy could have been anybody's child. Shit. I don't give a fuck about these motherfucking numbers. You can have this shit. I quit." Portia was near tears and had sat on the edge of her chair and turned her body sideways to look from Sally to Roscoe, not believing their lack of compassion. "No, no, Pat. You ain't got to be acting like that now." Roscoe tried to cool things off. Too late. "My name Portia, motherfucker. Not Pat. Portia. Portia!" Portia was standing and shouting now. "Well, you go then, 'cause ain't gonna be too many of 'em, you motherfucking ass young lady. You got it? Understand?" Roscoe said, half mouthing. "I overstand. Kiss my ass." Portia got up and left. Persephone looked from Roscoe to Sally and got up and went to the computer room, where she glimpsed Mona standing in front of the refrigerator with its door open, pretending to decide between Coke and Sprite, the only two flavors ever kept in there. Portia hadn't left yet, and she headed back to the computer room, too. Persephone mouthed the words, "You quit?" When Portia nodded her head yes, Persephone put on the theatrical pout. "You still coming to the Halloween party next Saturday?" Portia whispered. "Yeah," Persephone said too loud. Portia's older brother gave an annual Halloween celebration that got write-ups in most of Detroit's newspapers and magazines. News people and local athletes were the celebrities on hand. The rest were the majority of the most influential black folks in Detroit, Michigan. "I'll call," Portia whispered again, then said goodbye. Persephone wished she were leaving out for good too. It was beginning to come on her in a flood exactly what her situation there was. She wasn't a computer operator at an insurance agency on the Northwest Side, like she told anyone who asked. She worked at a number house, an illegal gambling facility. If they did get busted, what was Persephone going to tell the judge? "Your Honor, sir, I'm just trying to pay off my credit card so I can save a little money so I can go with my sister in Germany." The judge would probably give her over to the men in the white jackets. If they got busted up in here, what would she do then? Persephone knew it was time to get serious again and do something with her future instead of growing content. "You ain't got them damn numbers caught up yet?" Roscoe questioned, spying the tray filled with two sheets. Persephone was able to get up, get one off the top when Roscoe startled her. She was thinking at that moment that it was the police coming up in there, and the look on her face made Roscoe look behind him to see if someone else was there. "I gotta get out of here," Persephone screamed in her head.